young people can have an experience that is not only entertaining, but also fascinating if they have a grasp of the three states of matter, which are solid, liquid, and gas. Specifically, this is due to the fact that there are three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. When young pupils are made aware of these contrasts, they are able to nurture a more profound appreciation for the scientific concepts that underpin the physical world that surrounds them. This is because they are able to see the differences between the two. In order to distinguish itself from the other states, every state possesses a variety of distinctive characteristics that have the ability to differentiate it from the other states. Because children are more likely to recognize solids as the condition of matter, this is the case. The reason for this is that solids are the condition of matter. Whatever they come into contact with, and that has a shape and volume that are consistent with one another, is believed to be solid. Solids are defined as everything that they come into contact with. The term solids refers to everything that they have inside of them. Solids are distinguished by their particular structure, which is a consequence of the fact that the particles that constitute the solid vibrate and are packed together in an unusually dense manner. The fact that the particles do not move freely but rather vibrate is the rationale behind this phenomenon. It is because of this that the phenomena occur. As a result of the dense packing that takes place within solids, they are able to keep their structure and are resistant to changes that are long-lasting. On the other hand, an ice cube is an example of a solid. It does not flow or change form unless it melts, and it does not change its shape in the freezer regardless of the temperature. Ice cubes are a good example of a solid. Some examples of solids include ice cubes and ice cubes. Additional examples of daily solids include things like toys, books, and furniture, amongst other things. Additional examples include daily solids. Furniture is one example of an additional category. The reason that these solids are rigid is because of the tremendous forces that hold their particles in place. This is the reason that these solids are rigid. These forces are responsible for the rigidity of solids. The reason that solids are stiff is because they are subject to a great deal of intense forces. Considering the wide range of scenarios that children are accustomed to, it is not completely out of the question for them to become aware of the presence of liquids in those scenarios. Liquids are the next form of matter in the hierarchy of states of matter, following solids. In contrast to solids, liquids do not have a shape that is consistent throughout their entirety. Rather, they conform to the geometry of the container in which they are housed. Solids, like liquids, have a form that is constant. The distinctive shape of solids, on the other hand, is what distinguishes them from liquids. This is the case because the particles that make up a liquid are not packed as densely as those that make up a solid. This is another reason why this is the case. Consequently, liquids have a lower density in comparison to solids due to the fact that this is this reason. It is possible for them to glide past one another, which makes it possible for the liquid to move freely in the gap that exists between them. To illustrate this idea, water that is confined within a glass will adapt to the shape of the glass. Nevertheless, it will not be able to choose its own shape while it is contained within the glass. This is because the glass will control the shape that the water takes. Additionally, milk, juice, and oil are all examples of liquids. Other examples of liquids are tea and coffee. These are all examples of liquids that can be found in the world. The ability of liquids to flow and conform to the containers in which they are confined is directly attributable to the fact that liquids include particles that are more loosely organized than solids. The particles that make up solids, on the other hand, are packed more closely together. When compared to liquids, solids are distinguished by the presence of particles that possess a structure that is more intricately constructed. When compared to solids and liquids, children have the most trouble comprehending gases. This is due to the fact that gases are the condition of stuff that is the most challenging to understand. To be more specific, this is because the way in which gases are viewed is different from the way in which solids and liquids are perceived. Because gases are able to expand to cover any area that is available, it is possible to say that they do not have a volume or shape that is predetermined before their expansion. This is because gases are able to expand to fill any area that is accessible. Because the particles that make up a gas are in close proximity to one another and move at a rapid and unconstrained rate, it is possible for gases to disperse and fill a room. This is because of the relationship between the particles. This is due to the fact that gases are believed to be gases in their own right. As a consequence of this, the gases are provided with the opportunity to distribute and fill the room. An ideal example of a gas would be the air that travels through our lungs during the process of breathing in and out. Aside from the fact that it is spread across the environment, it does not have any particular volume or shape, nor does it have any other characteristics that set it apart from other objects. Carbon dioxide, which is in carbonated beverages, and helium, which is in balloons, are two examples of other types of gases. Carbon dioxide is present in carbonated beverages. In the category of gases, both of these substances are instances. It is common knowledge that carbon dioxide can be found in beverages that contain carbon dioxide. The constant movement of the particles that make up gases is what determines how gases behave, and this mobility also contributes to our understanding of how gases behave. Gases are distinguished by their capacity to flow at a rapidly accelerating rate. As a result of this, gases are able to cover areas while at the same time being smaller and less conspicuous for the human eye. When given the opportunity to witness solids, liquids, and gases in their everyday lives, children have the capacity to acquire knowledge regarding the properties of solids, liquids, and gases. This is because children have the potential to learn about these characteristics. It is because of this that they are able to obtain knowledge regarding the features of various states of matter. When people are aware of the concept that matter may change from one state to another through processes such as melting, freezing, and evaporation, they are better able to comprehend the dynamic component of the world. This is because they are able to better grasp the world. With this understanding, people are able to take greater pleasure in the world. They are able to have a greater comprehension of how the world works as a result of possessing such knowledge, which is the reason behind this. When ice melts, for instance, it changes into liquid water, and when that water is heated, it changes into steam, which is a gas that is created of carbon dioxide. In other words, steam is a gas. The following is an illustration of how transformations can take place. As a result of the dynamics that are involved in these transitions between states of matter, it is possible to acquire a more comprehensive understanding of the manner in which substances change and interact with their surroundings by taking into consideration these transitions. Children have the opportunity to gain a fundamental grasp of physical science through the investigation of the three qualities of matter: which is supplied to them. In light of all that has been taken into consideration, this provides children with the possibility to acquire this understanding. Not only does the act of discovering the marvels of the natural world that surrounds youngsters excite their curiosity, but it also motivates them to notice and pay attention to what they see and hear. This is because children are primarily influenced by their environment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.